Gina, it is great to see you.
Great to be in studio with you.
So as far as Facebook's news feed go, their defense, so to speak, has always been, well, we don't really have a lot of people working on these things.
Right.
A lot of it is machine generated, algorithmically generated, but now it seems that's not the case, right?
That's not the case. And it seems that they have a certain level of tolerance for certain sorts of stories and not a certain level of tolerance for other sorts of stories. So I don't know, Deirdre, maybe it's time that Facebook appoints some sensitivity training for conservative thought.
Or an editor.
There you go. Or just be honest about how it's done. If it's really something that's posted the most, then it should figure up to the top. But if it's not, but there are free market solutions for this that I think conservatives need to be careful.
So what would you suggest?
Well, government needs to stay out of this. That's the first thing, because this is a crisis that everybody can talk about and come up with government solutions. But free market is good. Here's how you do it. You don't like their advertisements. If you're angry about the way Facebook is conducting business,
with your wallet.
You're talking with your pocketbook. That's exactly right. And we have a right to do that. And we also have a right to compete. You know, we're in the technology age. Look, Deirdre, at what has happened to newspapers. So many newspapers going down the tubes for this exact reason. And I'm telling you, prediction right here, if Facebook doesn't change its ways and start being more honest about the way they're doing business, there's going to be a big competitor come along, and they'll be made the way of the dinosaur like so many newspapers have been.
Well, at the very least, I think it gives them a sincere credibility problem.
Absolutely.
In the effort where they're saying, okay, we have a news feed, and we have freedom of speech. All points of view under normal circumstances are meant to be represented. I want to bring you a quick update here on Amazon. I'm looking at the shares here. Stock breaking out to close a new high, but almost 1%. But I mean, third straight record high in a row for this stock. So essentially, it is benefiting in some ways from disappointing retailers' figures. At Macy's, we saw that yesterday. After the close today, we had Nordstrom reporting earnings. But I want to ask you about Jeff Bezos, because he has been a Democratic Party donor. He is the owner of the Washington Post, and he has ordered a 20-person team of journalists to essentially dig up dirt on Donald Trump. Now, we know in the past, I mean, listen, muckraking journalism has been around for centuries, but this is the new age. What is your take on it, Gina?
This is exactly the thing that has propelled Trump to exactly where he is today. And let me say this, you know, no matter how you feel about Donald Trump, there's nobody better vetted. There's nobody in politics right now that has been covered to the extent that Donald Trump has been covered. I can sincerely doubt, one, that they're going to dig up anything that we don't already know about, and two, that the American people care, because no one expects him to be that perfect, polished, packaged politician that everyone's used to. That's exactly the reason why he's so popular, is because he's not that.
Right. I think it's going to just make people want to support him more. The more embattled that they think he is, the more he thinks, okay, that's why we have to stick up for this guy. We have to fight for him and perhaps vote for him even. But it does bring up this tension between Silicon Valley and conservatives. I mean, there's a lot of libertarians in Silicon Valley, and some are choosing to support Donald Trump, such as Peter Thiel. Some have been more vocal that they will plan to support for Hillary Clinton. I want to ask you, though, about Apple, since we are in Silicon Valley. The stock we're going to show on the screen for our viewers, but more importantly, this is essentially where workers in China are living. And these are the people who are putting together the iPhones that cost quite a lot of money, at least in North America. And there's a lot of people saying that the CEO, Tim Cook, is fairly hypocritical in the sense of he is often pushing a kind of kinder, more human agenda, at least when he speaks here. But that's where workers are living. And you and I talked about this before. I mean, at Foxconn, which is actually where these are put together, I mean, people were committing suicide.
Yeah. I mean, they're living in, like, amazingly horrible sewer situations.
Like a jail.
Americans don't understand things like this. Americans don't understand why someone would say one thing on American soil and then be conducting business that way.
Especially not a company with $178 billion in cash on the balance sheet.
Precisely right. And then you had someone like Donald Trump come along and say iPhones should be made in America. And everybody scoffs at that, but then you look at pictures like this and you can see how the American people connect with that sentiment. Having said that, you know, we sure don't want to see these people in any more dire straits, but why not put a little money and even showcase it? What better marketing would there be, Deirdre, than showcasing the improvements you've made for these people who live there, if that's what you're going to do?
Yeah, this does. I mean, I'm looking at this video with you. I mean, it honestly looks like a pretty.
But they're not showing the sewer systems here where they had to like pedal push. There was like raw sewage. I mean, this is
Dangerous
really
conditions for people.
health dangers for real.
And for a company that makes quite a lot of money.
Exactly.
Gina, thank you so much.
Thanks
it's
for
good to
having
have
me,
you
Deirdre.
here.
Great to be in studio with you.
Gina joining me there. All right, Apple. We told you we were going to show you the chart here.